Howdy, howdy, howdy. What is up, guys? Gosh, that intro sounds terrible. So, today's video is only going to be around the 14-minute mark. Well, not today's, it'll come out sometime this weekend. But anyway, so I was going to try something new, changing font colors and changing the background. Even though I've done this before, it hasn't been done in the background of these videos before. So what I wanted to do is you don't really get to see I take that back. So I wanted to do a story about a MTF trapped inside of a locked down facility, mainly because there's a break going on, an outbreak. So their job is to hold the line until MTF Alpha 9 or Nine-Tailed Foxes can get in and actually contain the situation. One of the ideas I wanted to play around with for the longest time was flamethrowers. Because, I'm not going to say every, or even a bunch. However, there's a notable amount of SCPs that have a weakness to fire and light, specifically. Now, it's mostly the biological SCPs. Why am I explaining that? Yeah, but it's mostly biological SCPs. There's one that comes up in the story itself. You'll see it towards the end. I can't remember the number, but the Volgan covered it. I got them stuck in my head as the weird chicken men, basically. They all have eggs, and they lay them continuously to try and keep their species alive, so the Foundation has to suspend them in a liquid volume. Now, there isn't really too much. It's the reason why the video is short. But I have to keep making these to stay on the YouTube algorithm, so I'm sorry, and I hope this isn't as disappointing. However, last week's video came out to be 30 minutes. I still have to do the audio for it, but that should be out this weekend as well, so it's either going to be Sunday or Saturday, hopefully. As long as nothing goes wrong. Still got a bunch of other stuff to work on. So let me just take this time, and because I can't just talk for the first few minutes and then just let you guys watch me type on a screen. I mean, I only do that for the background, basically. I really need to stop saying Anyway, why? I'm sorry that I'm failing. I know what I need to say. Just still not used to this. And it's interesting because I always wanted to do this, and now I'm nervous and doubtful about all this. And by this, I mean the YouTube stuff and writing, because I'm not a good writer. Hopefully, by the time I'm big, I'll be a legitimately good writer, and I'll publish a book everyone wants to read. But hey, wishful thoughts. So, I do have to do one thing before I actually get back on track here. Someone, you know who you are, has been going through it rough lately. So, I know I can say this to your face, but I also kind of want this down for time in memoriam, or until either the internet breaks up or everything goes dark. Anyway, let's not think about the existential dread. Anyway, so I hope everything gets better, man. This little segment's for you, and everything's going to be alright. Because soon, hopefully, I'll be able to actually make some high-quality, longish stories that'll end up somewhere where people can see and enjoy and hopefully make somebody's day better. Alright, that's stated. So, here's an update on the wiki situation, and here's what I really wanted to talk about for this video. So, like I've said in one previous video, I believe, maybe two, I'm not actually allowed to post on the SCP Wiki, not because I'm banned, but the entry process. So you have to sign up Wikidot, you have to join the SCP Wiki specifically, and then they have this little form where you have to post your first ideas. And as much as I absolutely despise this form, I understand its function and what it's used for. And for that, it's good, but it just seems like every time I get on there, I just get shut down. And I know what they're trying to do, but I mean, there's this whole thing where it's like, can't have too many details, and then, you're like, alright, how can I concisely put this as short as possible and still make it understandable and give a good hook? You do that, and then immediately they set in and start picking at this and that. I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what they have to do to keep up the site's quality, and I understand what they're doing. It's just really frustrating just because it always seems to bite me in the rear. And I mean, again, might be because I'm a bad writer, but I mean, it's kind of because my ideas are kind of far out there sometimes, or sometimes what I'm currently going for, they're not too, what's the proper word I'm looking for? They're not too huge. Like, I don't enjoy writing SCPs themselves. I like doing tales and stories, and while the SCP format does give a narrative one can do, it's a very restrained format, because you can't delve too much into the lives of your researchers unless the SCP specifically plays a major part of someone's life, and even then it's only going to revolve around that one character. In fact, something interesting you could try and do. I'm joking. I mean, I do have a few ideas, but I'm not the person who should try and write them, because that's just not my style. So, an idea I'm trying to get going is kind of a SCP slice of life. I don't know what that accent was or what that voice was. Now, So, I have a few good writing buddies I can talk to nearly at any time, and of course I'm in several different things just for writing, and a few specifically for Wayward and SCP. But I mean, those places are big, and again, nothing wrong with that. They're big, and it can kind of take a lot to get some help, and it's also really easy to fall through the cracks. And then you also have like 20, 30 different you can anyway, have 20 or 30 different opinions on something that can all contradict, because everyone has their own flavor and tastes. And so, while you can make it better, and you almost always will, by the way, it can also be a bit hard to compute everything, I want to say. For instance, something that doesn't go over well on the forums is long stories. That's something I've been told by a lot of the more experienced authors. Longer stories and narratives don't do well on the wiki because no one wants to sit there and read them. Don't really get that, but I mean, anyway. No, I'm not disagreeing with him. When I say I don't understand that, I don't get the general psychology behind it's a writing site, we can't make it too long. Although Dr. Sumerian constantly refers to it as flash fiction, so quick read, one and done, move on to the next thing, see if that does your whole little thing. Anyway, so typed up, so go back and forth with the I want to say the person who legitimately runs the whole ideas board Zen. And I mean, again, you can't make posts too long because they want them blocked up. I don't understand. I'm sure it's something to do with Wikidot. But anyway, so I had to run through all that. And I finished this post, and I've been sitting on it for a week or two. And nothing's really come of it. And if you reply on a forum, when someone talks on a forum, they don't get notified. And something my good old father has been harassing me about is squeaky wheels get grease, but I mean, honestly, now might be a good time to just go ahead and post something because I'm going to have to, get their attention, make them come back, read through all that. That'll probably take a day or two. I'll probably see it in a day or two. And I mean, just to keep trying to go on and hammer out this idea when I already have a general idea of what I want to do. I mean, that's the entire thing. I usually have my writing style is I have a general idea, and as I go through, I'll refine it, and then I'll put it through the critique process and get rid of what's not needed and fix some stuff because I have atrocious grammar well, I just do. That's not really that funny, but I mean, hey, take any chance you can get to laugh at yourself sometimes. Because we're all human, even if the internet doesn't want you to be. So, if I don't get a reply by, say, the end of this weekend, I'm gonna say screw it, and I'm gonna start working on that story. I'm gonna shove it through the critique forums, and I'm gonna get that thing super well polished. It's gonna be probably more slicked down than a greased hog. I'm gonna get it super polished, make it look real nice. And yes, there will be a video on it, just for the 12 people that watch my channel. Hopefully you'll enjoy. So I'll give that its own dedicated video and explain the concepts and themes and what I'm going for there. Maybe I can use it as a promotional tool as well. Oh, hey, you want to know more about this? Come watch my video. Well, no, because we're not actually interested. This is just something that we are obligated to do for you since we're part of the critique forums. Anyway, so go through all that wonderful stuff, get it super polished down. One thing that irritates me is you can't submit anything for critique in Google Docs, even though people can edit it just like on a sandbox, but I mean they never do, because it comes down to you. Okay, nothing wrong with that, but I mean, I only bring that up because it's just they look at it to check the formatting and stuff, to see how it'll lay out on the page and everything. But I mean, I feel like their works looks better on the Google Doc, and also Wikidot can be very difficult and annoying for someone like me to use. And in case you're wondering what someone like me, no, I'm not handicapped or anything, just look at the screen on whatever device you're watching this on, and it should rather quickly when, my screen's mostly narrow and there's a whole bunch of black where nothing happens. Just the fact that and Wikidot can be a general overall mess and garbage fire sometimes. Anyway, so I'll finish out these last few minutes by saying that I kind of stopped with this story, I'll be honest, I kind of lost motivation halfway through. And so here's something for all you writers out there. Sometimes you may need to force an idea, but generally it's better not to force something. Hey, I'm a novice, but even I know that, because if you run out of steam, hey, sometimes you do, especially if you want to make it your career, have to just go through and force the idea. But generally, they come out better when you let them wait. Now then, I have some special words. So, thank you to Dr. Kirana, or aka Kayana, for watching this. Thanks for supporting me. It means a lot. Thank you to everyone else as well. The only reason I ain't calling you out by names is because I'm not sure who will be seeing this at what time, since she's generally pretty consistent, but the support means a lot to me, so thank you guys. And I think this is where it's about to end, so have a good time, guys. You're all the best. Peace!